All right, so we talked about a young man, not exactly a young man, but the guy Damian Lillard and Killer Lillard some few days ago. The announcement of their divorce, even though he just got traded into some kind of new deal. Okay, we talked about them some few days ago, and there was some comments, something with regards to prenup. Um, Well, not exactly prenup, right? Not exactly prenup. So you can see the comment on the screen right now. The comment says, "Protect your effing bread with a trust. F that prenup." Okay. So I'm not sure if that's where the comment came from. Let me see where the comment came from. There's a comment from one of our viewers. Shout out to all the viewers, all the new viewers. We're always talking about this kind of stuff. If you have pushback, I appreciate it because that's how we learn. Okay. Yeah, so there was a breaking news, file for divorce, but there's no prenup or something like that. I'm not sure. But Damian, as a basketballer, and wife is still inside of the $7 million mansion, and he moved into their $1 million or $2 million mansion, something like that. But bottom line is that they're going through divorce right now. So, and of course, a lot of young men, not just young men, some people are old enough to actually have this, some of this outlook on how these things work. Were on the video, and this was one of the comments. Somebody said, "Protect your effing bread." That means money, right? With a trust. F that prenup. Okay, so some people are still saying prenup everything. They're running around the streets talking about prenup, and some absolutely don't even believe in prenups anymore, and somehow they think they figured something else that works better, and now they're saying trust. Right? See, my background is real estate, right? So oftentimes a lot of people have unrealistic. That's Damian and Killer Lillard. Oftentimes, a lot of people have unrealistic expectations on this paperwork. This paperwork will not protect you holistically. They can protect your bread, like you said, right? But I'm willing to argue that if that prenup cannot protect that bread, the trust is not going to protect that bread either. You just need a good lawyer, a person with enough interest in that money or that property or wherever it is you're trying to hide away, and they will find it. You're right. If there's not enough interest, this paperwork can protect to some extent. Only to some extent. Okay? Only to some extent. Gracious goodness, who's mad with Tiamari not re-entering? We'll talk about that in a few. Right? Only to some extent. There's unrealistic expectations everywhere. I keep telling you that you need to guard yourself, you need to guide yourself, you need to guard yourself against, guess who? Yourself. You guide yourself against yourself, because oftentimes, the key point that I really want to raise out of this is actually very, very simple. In any game in life, right, there is defense. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with you if you want to defend, protect, keep away, huddle away for rainy days, hopefully, right? There's nothing wrong with that, But I have some questions. Because we're talking about marriage right now. And it's fair that we're talking about a divorce. There's actually a divorce going on right now, allegedly, I think. I think it's true, but anyway. I'm only seeing the reports on the internet, right? So there's actual divorce going on right now. So there's no cap in here, right? So you're absolutely correct. Somebody can marry you and just one day wake up randomly and just start, and just say, hey, I don't want to do anymore. Right? It can happen. It's happening. In fact, we have an epidemic of it right now. It's happening everywhere. People are leaving their marriages. People are moving mad. People are leaving their family out on the streets because they feel the need to protect themselves, particularly emotionally. Yes, not just women, men as well. Men are filing for divorce and they're putting irreconcilable differences. You know, that no reason part, no good reason, right? They are. It's happening everywhere, right? And until you are in that kind of situation, you don't really know, right? You can only speculate from outside until you're in some kind of situation where, you know, let me just see here what's going on. Just make sure that internet is good. All right, good. Until you're in that situation, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. You can only look at paperwork and say, yeah, just stick that paper out, protect your money. But you kind of maybe you forgot, maybe you're not aware, maybe you don't have proper context of what it means for a person to actually get to a space where they said, that person, I like them enough to want to make them a life partner. You might be having a hard time comprehending that. And it's not your fault. You don't really know until you're in it. Even those that are in it, that are right now saying I do, they don't know what they're doing. Yet, that's what they need to do, because we're social, emotional beings. And oftentimes, your growth as a man is going to come from being in a marriage. Okay? Your biggest potential when it comes to growth will come from finding yourself in that space where you're encountering crisis. And it's easy to run our mouth when I'm doing a show, just talking. When you're typing a comment, it's very easy to run your mouth, right? Because all you see is black and white. But if you know enough about life, you know that life is never black and white, right? Not because somebody else is not making it black and white. Actually, because you don't operate as you don't operate your own world as black and white. There are times that you are capping big time and you don't even mean to, but you're capping. Like you just feel some type of way. You couldn't put a finger on it, but you feel some type of way, right? Feelings, emotions, right? So how much more when somebody actually sees somebody and they deem them enough that you could be my wife for the rest of my life. So of course it's like on paper, you're absolutely correct. Protect, right? But is that how a person feels when they fall in love with a person and they want them to be their wives? Typically. Not the exception. Not Hugh Hefner. Right? We're not talking about Hugh Hefner right now. We're talking about you, the simp. The one that is absolutely pissed off that women get to get away with so much. That you're pissed off at double standards. Even though both sides of the gender enjoy double standards in one way or the other. Right? Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one, you literally fell in love, which is why you can relate with these topics at this level. Right? And there's nothing wrong with you that you fell in love. But now you try to solve that problem and solve that problem with absolutes, like physics. And that's only going to hurt you. It's unrealistic. You're not set up that way, okay? You're set up to actually engage other human beings emotionally. You get emotional, right? You buy everything you buy. Anything you buy into, any ideology, anything you buy in the market, you buy them with your emotions. You might justify with logic later, but it was actually an emotional decision to a large extent. Not absolutely. Again, there's no absolutes in any dimensions you want to look at it, right? There's no absolute, but you're a human being. So sometimes you just like what you like. You like what you like, and you're like, yeah, it makes sense, but let me just push the envelope a little bit and then justify the BS with logic later. We all do it, all of us, okay? Gracious Green says it's ironic that allegedly so many couples are getting divorced a few years after they were forced together during lockdown and a pandemic. I know waiting cause them. It's been happening before that, but of course a lot of people were hiding behind their mask until COVID showed up, right? And some people got together during COVID too. So when reality kicked back in, a lot of people don't know what they're. So now the lesson I want to pull out of this is very simple. Hit that like button, I beg. Hit that like button, right? In any game of life, this is the lesson. You play defense and you play offense. You have to learn how to play defense. You also have to learn how to play offense. Okay? Now, if all your focus is on playing defense, right? So especially when we're talking about marriage, if your focus is absolutely on playing defense, you're still going to be a loser. That's the lesson. You're still going to lose. Absolutely, you're going to lose. You'll be able to protect that money to an extent, I guess. But even the way you're moving mad, because you can't really think in a balanced way, you're probably going to sabotage that as well. Because a good lawyer will come after all of it and take it all away from you. Trust, prenup, or whatnot. Because you're operating out of your emotions. Particularly, you're operating out of your emotions. Like the default, the reality is that you are an emotional being. But when you're operating off of your emotions, you will do all kind of, you will move mad, right? You will act out of your emotions in efforts to protect yourself and just play defense only. You miss out because the league is going to leave you behind anyway, right? You're going to get left behind anyway because you don't know how to play offense. You don't know how to build that tank. You don't know how to build that love tank. You don't know how to influence people to just want to give to you. You're just hodling. You're just trying to protect what you got. There's nobody that makes it in life. Success, any types of success, either money, relationships, health, they don't play like that. They play both, and they probably pay more attention to playing offense. And that usually, when it comes to relationship, it looks like giving. Not give and take, giving, right? So you should just give everything. No, actually, you should also give to yourself. But you miss out on giving to yourself because you're busy protecting the little that you have. Usually like some tangible stuff that will get buried anyway. That will lose value anyway. You know, there's nothing in life that doesn't lose value with time. Oh, it's not just women. There's nothing in life that does not lose value with time. Either you call it inflation when it comes to currency, or you call it, So even real estate, right? It's a game that you need to play. You can't just say, hey, I'm going to let the house sit down there and it's just going to gain value. There's some properties that will never gain value. I don't know if you knew that, right? Okay, at least in a particular lifespan, because time is not your mate. We have to know what we're doing. So protect your effing bread with a trust. F that prenup. No, that's not how you protect yourself. You can protect the bread only to a certain extent too. But if you have enough interest, they will take that bread away from you too. And worse, you might even take that bread away from yourself because you will squander it because you're thinking bread. You're not even thinking productivity. It's an outlook. It's a mindset. I don't want you to get stuck on money right now. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. You're just laser focused in on huddling. Emptiness is vanity upon vanity. All is vanity. You know. What's his name? The leader Tony will say, "Well, why don't you just give it away?" Like, no, that's not. No, that's stupid. No. That's not what we're talking about. It's still vanity upon vanity. Stay with me. It's vanity upon vanity. Okay? No one is asking you to give away your money. Okay? We're telling you to understand when you start to protect your assets, you have to think about it holistically when it comes to family laws. Because the family law is not your idea of fairness. It's not. Okay? Because you're probably caught up in your feelings, and anything they do to you is probably going to feel like it's unfair anyway. Right? So that's that anyway. I just wanted to touch on that really quickly. Let's move on to some other topic. I'll be right back.